Hello, welcome to Geeks Unleashed. This is episode 237. Each week on the Geeks Unleashed podcast, we catch up on our pop culture lives, we discuss some movie news, sometimes some trailer reactions, and we finish it off with a movie review. I'm also joined by a wonderful panel of guests. Out first is the man himself, Devaughn.
Yo!
Thank you for coming in for this, especially as we went and all saw it like in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
So we don't generally do movies that come out on the same day. But yeah, no, thank you very much. And
Of course.
again, returning, Laurence. Thank you very much.
Hey, everybody.
As people may have noticed, Laurence seems to be sticking around. We've obviously not done anything to offend him just yet.
It takes a lot.
There is still time, right? So, before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe, etc. Obviously, if you're watching live, and people do join away in the comments. Yeah, and also if you are watching on the rewatch, please feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you liked or didn't like about the Odyssey. You can leave comments on Spotify as well too. So anyway, guys, how you doing?
Wonderful. Doing great. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Laurence, have you had a good week?
I'm in the same boat.
What's in your t-shirt, Laurence?
So it's a shirt called Scarf Weather, and it's Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock, Doctor Who, and Harry Potter. So
cool.
Awesome.
I figure we're doing the Odyssey, so time travel with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I like the t-shirt. It's pretty cool. I've just got boring black North Face going on. So anyway, I'm always jealous of Lawrence's background. I need to.
Yeah, it's the home office.
The home office.
Yeah, I've got a green screen up because behind me is behind me is my girlfriend's desk, and she's got all her knickknacks and whatnot. So, I mean, if I could zoom in my camera a little bit, it would be nice, but I can't, and you'll see the living room, and it's just I'm not doing that.
I think, I sometimes sort of put it out there whether to do Geek News first or Geek of the Week. I'm going to go with Geek News first because I wanted to talk about this. Actually was something I messaged you, I think I messaged you, Devaughn, I can't remember now, but Sam Neill, who passed away at the age of 78 on 13th of July. Look, I know most people are going to associate him with Jurassic Park, and that probably is the first time I saw him in a role. But I've seen him in so many amazing things over the years. Event Horizon, probably my favorite role of him is Peaky Blinders, where he's in the first two seasons. He's sort of the guy from, I think it's Scotland Yard, and he's like the policeman who becomes more of a villain than the villains, because he wants to get the Peaky Blinders and starts to become more. He's basically a bad guy in the Peaky Blinders. He plays it so well.
What was the vampire movie with him and Ethan Hawke? I forget what that movie was, but he was great in that movie. God,
is that Daybreak?
I think so.
Daylight?
It's Day something. Oh, I loved him in that movie.
Daybreakers.
Daybreakers.
So I remember that. Yeah,
that was good.
I remember that. Yeah, he was a bad. Yeah, I remember that. He was a bad guy in that movie as well.
Yeah.
Didn't Ethan Hawke figure out how? Because the whole world is vampires and all the humans that are left are on the run.
Yeah.
And Ethan Hawke becomes a human and figures out how to
turn them back,
reverse engineer the vampire virus. But Sam Neill's character doesn't want to do that. So honestly, when I woke up the other morning and I saw that he passed away, man, that actually hit me. It's weird. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's weird. The algorithm designed by the Elon Musks of the world and the Mark Zuckerbergs. You watch one reel on I don't know, cow shitting, and then you get nothing but reels of cow shitting. Honestly, that's like, you shouldn't show if it's something that's questionable. You shouldn't even click on the reel. Just push past it. Anyway, because I showed some obviously attention to Sam Neill, a few things have popped up actually, and I saw like a really sweet clip of him on the Graham Norton show. How he has these like farm animals that he named, because he's actually got a farm in New Zealand. He names all of his farm animals after American celebrities. I just thought that was really sweet. Like he just honestly seemed like such a nice guy, and I don't know him, but everything I've seen him in, I've loved. So, and look, I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. I think who isn't.
Yeah, my boyfriend is taking it pretty hard because he just went on vacation, but Jurassic Park is one of his favorite movies, and two movies that I need to kind of give a rewatch to would be In the Mouth of Madness and Event Horizon. But he is not the problem in those movies. I just have a higher bar of like accepting some of the storytelling in those movies. But yeah,
100%. So. Yeah, I'm sure that most pop culture fans. I don't even think you have to be a pop culture fan to have known him. Even my mum made a comment about some of his early work. So, right, okay. Second piece of news. I'm actually going to jump down order of what I've written actually, because I think this one I'd like to hear Devon's opinion on this next thing.
Ooh.
So, Prime Video's live-action God of War has officially recast Ryan Hurst. Ryan Hurst permanently tore a bicep muscle whilst performing a stunt during production in June. Surgeries required. Anyway, the injury and the recovery term is going to take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, with a full year needed to regain 100% strength, essentially setting back the show by like 2 years almost. So obviously what they're concerned about here is the child actor who plays, is it Atreus? Is that you say? Atreus, sorry. Obviously, they're worried about him growing up too quickly, aging out the role, and the delay to production. So, I saw that come up the other day, and I was like, shit. So,
just do the Amazon thing and cancel it. Just cancel it. I just don't even want it at this point. And I love Ryan Hurst. He was great as Thor in God of War Ragnarok. If you haven't played God of War Ragnarok, get around to it. Great. He played the
You were over the moon about that casting, weren't you?
Oh, over the moon. I was very happy that he got cast as Kratos. I do think Christopher Judge could do it because he does the voice of Kratos, but whatever, I mean, when these actors age up and they age out like that's a thing, but I almost don't want them to recast it. I kind of just want them just to cancel it because at this point, I mean, what are we, But who knows? We'll see. I have a very high bar for video game adaptations into movies and shows because they haven't done a good job. And I mean, look at Assassin's Creed. That was not great.
Oh, that was a bad film.
I think the best adaptations have been literally the Mario and the Sonics of the world right now.
Last of Us has done a good job.
I have not watched the show only because I played the video games, and for me, I know the story, I know what's going on. I don't care to watch it. I'm not a big fan of the Pedro Pascal role as Joel. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
What about you, Laurence? Any thoughts on the recasting?
I don't really have a strong opinion about it because I've not played God of War, but I love oh my god, I want to call him mentor Ryan Hurst because he's great. I loved his role as Opie in Sons of Anarchy, so I think that he would just be the guy that you want to go with for like intensity. I think he was Lobo in one of the DC animated Superman of Tomorrow movies, so I'm kind of that would have been the way to go, but I don't know.
I was like Sons of Anarchy. I was a huge fan of that, and I thought he was brilliant in Sons of Anarchy. So
I've never seen it.
I've not got the attachment to the God of War games like Devaughn has.
Yeah.
But when I saw the cast, I know who the characters are. I have played God of War for maybe like 10 minutes or something. It's something I probably should invest in. But when I saw the casting, and I think Devaughn had messaged me a photo or something like whenever this was announced like a year or two ago, I thought actually he looks like he could be the part. So
yeah.
Right, okay, next piece of news. Marvel Comics, after 90 years, have officially announced that they're leaving New York City. So the company has a building in New York, and DC at one point had the same, but both their buildings where all their writers, editors, etc. used to be housed out of. DC moved theirs a couple of years back. But Marvel Comics have announced that they will be relocating essentially their editorial building where over 100 staff have been affected. They've all been offered relocation packages. And you can take two guesses. We probably don't even need two guesses. One guess where it's going to be going. It's going to California. So,
could have guessed that.
Yeah. It's come as part of a massive corporate consolidation, restructure. There's also been some change in leadership roles. Stephen Wacker has been announced as the new editor-in-chief, and CB Cebulski is now outgoing editor. However, he is heading to Japan to head up their manga and Asia originals line over there. So, do you know what? I remember being in New York, like something like 20 or 30 years ago. I was in a queue for something, and I remember being in this queue for like 15 minutes, and I was looking at the building, and it was the Marvel Comics building, but I didn't know that initially. And I'm looking at this building, and I'm seeing all these different Marvel posters, like Spider-Man, whatever, and I was like, suddenly hit me. I was like, holy shit! I was like so excited. I was like outside the Marvel, like I'm a comic fan. I was like, shit! I'm outside the Marvel head office. I couldn't believe it. Like, yeah. So this is like before smartphones. I had like a Polaroid, not Polaroid. I had a film camera. I was like trying to take a big picture of the building. So, but yeah, look, I personally think it's ridiculous, but there's probably several things here. Cost saving long term. Disney are probably thinking, why do we need this here? But also we can bring the comics in line with the movie people. So
that, and chances are, like, Comic-Con, that just gets easier for people to go. Like, if you need staff to be there. So but
it makes sense. But
West Coast Avengers.
Yep.
I was thinking about this. Like, where would I rather live, California or New York? I think I'd choose New York.
I'm picking New York. I think it's one of the. I mean, I've never been to California, but I've been to New York so many times. I love that city so much. Yeah. I really do.
I'm a California boy, so I'm trying to get back there.
Yeah, I get it, man. I've never been. My girlfriend just came back maybe 2 weeks. She was over there for vacation, and she absolutely loved it. She was at Disney. She went all over the place. She was there for I think 10 days. Absolutely loved it. I would love to go out there and visit. I've only been there like traveling through for like the airport and whatnot. Definitely want to go and visit. It's on the bucket list. That in Japan. Heavily, but I'm an East Coast boy, so I love New York.
I've been to New York 3 times now, and like it's like me and my wife are now talking about going to New York again next year. So we're debating whether to go on our own to either Toronto. It's weird. We picked 2 locations to go on our own, either Toronto or New York, and we're like, which one to go for?
You should do Toronto.
I know. I have said this to her. Like maybe we should just go to Toronto because we've been to New York 3 times, and. If it's a weekend, it would be for like maybe 4 days or something. So
nice.
Anyway, it's a shame it's moving. I get why it's moving, but it's just a shame after 90 years. So
definitely.
I mean, I can't imagine it would make a great museum, but like people like Stan Lee have worked there.
I mean, they could always bring his desk like they did at the Oscars museum. They had Hideo Miyazaki's original desk there, like from when he started working, and it was like, oh, that's really a cool idea.
That's pretty sweet.
I just imagine the building just being full of comics that go back 90 years, and
right.
Although that, I mean, I don't know how you secure all of that, but there we go. Right, okay, that's my news. No trailers this week, so we will jump into our feature that everybody loves, Geek of the Week. So Geek of the Week is something that anybody that's on the panel has done on their own throughout the week, whether that's a movie, a TV show, something they've read, something they've listened to, and they just want to share it and give like their own thoughts around it. I'll start this off with Devaughn.
Yes. So not too much this week, but today there was a new Pokemon set that came out, and my girlfriend and I went this morning and grabbed a whole bunch of we grabbed ETB each and all that, and we did some rips, and I got the Mega Darkrai EX. It's worth about $300 right now.
Oh, really? Oh,
it was a great pull today. She was not happy. She was very upset with me. No, she wasn't upset. She was very excited for me, but it was like the 3rd pack I opened, and I got it, and I was like, holy crap, $300. And hopefully it just keeps going up for this piece of cardboard. and I got it sleeved and a nice little top loader. So we're chilling. I was very, very stoked for that.
Well, are you going to keep it or are you going to sell it?
I'm going to keep it just to see how high it goes. I mean, over the past few, maybe 6 months or so, I've offloaded a whole bunch of cards. There was a binder. I had said this before. I think there was a binder that I bought off of a friend in 2019 for $150, and I've probably made well over $2,000.
Oh wow!
In the last 6 months off of it, just selling cards and stuff, which is nice, very nice. It's a great help. So, I mean, I don't really get attached to the cards a lot. So if this goes up maybe another 200 or 300, maybe around there, I'll be like, yep, here you go. Take it.
I was messaging Laurence actually earlier in the week saying with the Batman, absolute Batman news about the animated movie. I bought, other than Martian Manhunter, I have all of the Absolute comics, all first prints. I bought them all for cover. That's Flash, Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, etc. And I just said to Laurence, I'm seriously considering selling them all. They're at such a good price right now. Look. It could go up even more.
If the show does well, Mark,
right.
That's all. If the show does well, they jump. I'm telling you. That's just the dice that you're rolling with something.
But if it doesn't do well,
then it's the Gambit movie all over again.
Trust me. I had it was a 3-pack of the Funko dragons from Game of Thrones. They were so, it was up there, and I was like, I'm just gonna hold on to them. And that last season just tanked them, and I was just like, no. But that's just the dice that you just roll the dice.
I know. Can you imagine having bought the Invincible run for cover price?
Yeah.
Those comics are ridiculous now.
Yeah, insane. But yeah, that's my geek of the week.
Man, that's cool. Do you you said you have a folder? Do you put them in is it?
Yep. Yep.
Can you open it? Is it a 9-page, 9?
It's yeah, it's 9. Yeah. Yep.
I only have one card collection. I got it in the 90s.
Nice.
That's it. There's a whole X-Men run of cards.
Heck yeah.
I'll have to show it to you another time. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe we'll have to get you to do it live one day. Rip someone live.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Actually, do you know what would be cool though? To you to rip it live and open one that's $1,000 or something, and Devaughn just
selling it right there.
Start doing backflips on the show.
Yeah, I'll just sell it right there live on stream. I don't care.
Do you just collect or do you play as well?
I just collect.
Okay.
Yeah, I just collect too. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I've been a fan playing the games so much, and my girlfriend's recently gotten into it. And I was never gonna buy another Switch until the new game came out, and when they announced it was coming to Switch 2, I was like, okay, I gotta get a Switch 2.
Isn't there that Pokemon game that's a bit like Animal Crossing?
Oh, Pokopia, amazing!
Yeah.
It's I don't even want to talk about it. There's so many hours into it.
There's a girl at my work. One day I was ending a call with, and you went up to anything tonight? And she said, I'm just going to play
Pokopia. Yeah.
And then I just said, what's that? That phone call then went on for another half an hour. Of her just telling me all about her life on this game. So
yeah, it's a great game.
It sounds cool. I don't have a Switch 2 yet.
Yeah. It's expensive, man. The price is only going up because, it's the world we live in, unfortunately.
Okay, I challenge you. Next time you buy a packet, save it and do it live. Even if it isn't your Geek of the Week, just go, this is my Geek of the Week, but I'm going to do this live.
Will do.
All right, okay. Laurence, what's your Geek of the Week, man?
Yeah, so I've just been going through my comic collection, and the newest one that I picked up recently was Return of the Living Dead: Untold Tales of Tarman #1. Okay. I love this horror movie. It's based off of the Return of the Living Dead movie. Super 80s schlocky. I mean, the comic matches the tone of the movie, which I'm always worried about when I read tie-ins / something that links itself to a movie. And I feel like the origin story of Tarman, he's just a kind of one-off iconic zombie. He's the first zombie that I feel like everyone kind of actually memory serves me correct that he's the first zombie official one that they run into, and he's just covered in tar, and there isn't really much to him other than he's the one that just keeps haunting the place, and the story that they tell in this comic is everything I wanted in one issue, and I highly recommend it to people. It's not for kids. Violence, nudity, everything that the original series had. So thumbs up.
What made you? So it was in your collection already?
No, so I've just been redoing my collection of comics to try to find stuff that I can sell and buy, like fill holes of series that I have. But that was the most recent one that I purchased last week or 2 weeks ago, July 1st.
I do that every now and again. I flick through. I'm like, oh, I'm missing issue 17 or something.
Yeah, I need to get better at that, but I suck at reading comics like the day that I get them, unless it's like a series that I'm absolutely in love with, like the Transformers or G.I. Joe.
Do you know, I'm actually seriously, like, I've been talking about doing this for probably 2 years, just cutting back so much of what I buy.
Yeah.
Because it just goes into a pile, it doesn't really get read, and I'm actually spending, I don't know, like £100 a month on comics. I'm like probably reading £20 worth a month. So if I could just buy £20 worth and then stick £80 somewhere else. So
right.
Yeah. I could go and buy Pokia or whatever it's called. I'll try and figure out how you say it. But I have been seriously thinking about just the money. Like, it's just a lot of money to be spending buying stuff. But yeah, I do what you do, Laurence. Occasionally, just jump in and grab a missing issue.
Yeah, I'm in that weird place of like trying to catch up with all my comic book stuff, but I suck at reading just in general. But like I'm in the Hail Hydra Captain America era, the Civil War 2. Yeah. Not
Secret
great.
Empire.
Secret Empire.
Yeah.
But I want to get through them at least once before I sell them. So.
Okay. Reading wise, I have read something. I read this. A couple of weeks ago, there was a show. Actually, no, it was a month ago. A month ago this Friday, I think. None of us were on the show. Jasmine was running the show with Karen because it was my wedding anniversary. And Karen, who is in California, came on, and this was her Geek of the Week, this book. So a couple of days after the show, I watched the episode back, and she shouted it out. So the book is called On the Calculation of Volume. This is book 1. I believe there's something like 6 or 7 of these books. Not all of them have come out yet. So this is the English adaptation from a French book, and it is about. So the weird thing is, there's no chapters. It's kind of. I don't know if you can see here, but it's like. It's kind of just set. So the main character is a lady called Tara Selter. It takes the Groundhog Day thing of repetition. So the same day is repeating for her, which is the 18th of November. And this whole book covers 1 year of her being stuck in the 18th of November.
Holy shit.
Now, there's several twists to this repetition, is wherever she ends that day is where she wakes up. So it's not repetitive. So, like in Groundhog Day, Bill Murray woke up in the same hotel room, and Bill Murray could go out and kill himself or whatever, and he'd still wake up, whatever. That is not the case in this. So essentially, quite early on in the book, she burns her hand, and the injury carries over, and so it sort of heals over a year period. And basically, she starts off the book in a hotel room, and then eventually goes home back to her husband, and carries on the day repeating with him. And I won't say too much here, but I think this book is I would say, a bit of a slow burn, but it's dropping you into kind of the setting and letting you kind of start to understand the rules of what she faces, because she is exploring, I guess, the rules of the world that she's now in. And then I've actually already started book 2. I'm sort of about halfway through book 2.
Wow.
So book 2 changes things up a little bit, where she's starting to, without spoiling too much, she's kind of got frustrated with being in the same location. So she started to move around and started to go to different countries. And there's a few chapters in Norway, for instance. But yeah, look, when I saw Karen's recommendation, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. So
yeah, that's awesome.
And also, to add to this, my wife also read this and really liked it, and she wants to read the second book too.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
And that is my geek of the week. So
I love that
yeah,
concept.
and do you know what, on the front cover here, the International Book Prize 2025 shortlisted. So there we go.
Wow.
It's apparently like a big thing, but I'd never heard of it until Karen her geek of the week. So there you go. I think that's good when you do these little geek of the weeks and they inspire other people to go and read something or watch something that they may not have known about. That's why I quite like doing this geek of the week, because you get things like there's sometimes Jasmine's recommended some anime things and I've gone and watched them. So.
Okay.
Right. The reason we are here.
Oh, the meat.
Evening, the main event, the Odyssey. Christopher Nolan movie, his latest film. So it's written by Christopher Nolan. I love the fact that in the credits it has Homer as well. Right, directed by Christopher Nolan, produced by Emma Thomas and Christopher Nolan. It stars a lot of people. Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, Lupita. Shit, how do you say that name? Not Niall? I don't know. Charlize Theron. It was released today on the 17th of July, and it has a running time of 2 hours and 52 minutes. It had a budget of 250 million. However, that's more likely 375 million if you include the marketing campaign. Box office, so far the takings on the previews are just under 20 million. However, opening weekend, which is this weekend, is projected to take over 200 million this weekend alone. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
By next Friday, this would have at least made more than the entire budget, including the marketing. So I think this will probably be $1 billion taking at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm loving the campaign around, especially Letterboxd have jumped on it. Like they've got a little scorecard thing that you can punch. Which format you've seen it in. So
I saw you post that.
Yeah, I've currently only watched it in one format. But
it's awesome.
Right, here's some fun facts. Christopher Nolan's very first feature to be shot entirely using IMAX cameras, rather than previously he has mixed formats, like he had on previous projects, but he did not do it on this one. Right, okay, so advanced ticket sales for the premium formats like IMAX was so historically high. A year ago, I don't know if you know this, but a year ago they started selling IMAX tickets for this event. So I went to see this today at the BFI, and this was extra releases that they did about a month ago. They did IMAX, so I went and saw it in a 70mm format, and they did it at the Science Museum in London and the BFI, and they released initial tickets 12 months ago. I didn't even get them. When they did a re-release a month ago, I was like in a queue to get in, and unfortunately I was quite near the front, more near the front than I would like. But to relate this, because the IMAX was so historically high a year ago, it actually crashed AMC's theatre website.
Wow.
Yeah, the AMC theatre website. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to just shout out in regards to facts was that the production of this movie has drawn... there's been various criticisms of this movie, but I will jump on the ones that some minor ones, I would say. Language usage, and also maybe not having the armor being historically correct. We can talk about it as we go in. Right, okay. So, and I think with that, let's talk about the film. So, Devaughn is super pumped. Oh, sorry, Lawrence.
Go ahead, Lawrence, please.
Yeah, so no. The only thing I just wanted to throw in there. So I did not realize that this movie was shot entirely in IMAX, which is insane because I don't know how many people know, but IMAX like cameras can only hold a 3-minute like magazine. So I feel like that like the number of cuts that must have happened, like that is nuts. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
That's not something I knew.
Yeah, no. Tom Holland was talking about it, whether he was worried that Christopher Nolan hated his performance because he's like, guys, like he keeps yelling, "Cut! What's going on? Like, does he not like what I'm doing?" And they're like, no, like the camera only holds 3 minutes per magazine, so like we're just gonna keep doing that, and it's just like, what the hell? So, anyways, that's all I wanted to point out because once you said that this was entirely shot in IMAX, I need to go see it in 70mm now.
So okay, so like basically every 3 minutes they had to stop.
Yeah, if they shot it specifically on IMAX cameras, then they had to stop every 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, if the whole film was shot in IMAX, that means every 3 minutes there was a cut.
Yeah.
Wow.
How annoying as an actor, like, must that be? I mean, I get it.
Yeah, but you're in a Christopher Nolan film, Mark. It's Christopher Nolan.
It's Christopher Nolan, and they're getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you can suck.
I'm going. Okay, cool. 3 minutes, you got it. I will say on top of that, it was a big deal last year during the Oscars. They didn't shout out David Keeley, who was the creator of IMAX. His son, Jeff Keeley, is the one that does the Game Awards and Summer Game Fest and all that. And, you know, he took to social media to, you know, express his distaste for that. And I want to give a shout out for Christopher Nolan, who, you know, gave that shout out to David Keeley towards, you know, in the credits, you know, for, you know, being his friend, and then obviously coming up with, you know, IMAX, the you know, the camera itself. So he passed away, I want to say maybe a year ago. I think he passed away. But yeah, so, you know,
I saw something online about Christopher Nolan would like more cinemas to have IMAX 70mm cameras, and I don't know which cinema chain it was annoyed, saying that's not feasible. So
yeah, wow.
Look, okay, so actually, do you know, let's talk about which format did we all see it in? So what did you see it in?
I didn't see it in IMAX. I saw it in regular like large format.
Box format,
yeah. Just regular format. But like, I mean, it was my thing is, I understand that they cut out a lot. Like when you go to see an IMAX, I'm there for the story. I don't really. I mean, I'm happy for people that want to see it in IMAX. Don't get me wrong, and I love that that's an option to watch it. But, you know, unfortunately, I couldn't get tickets for the IMAX, so it is what it is. But I, regardless, enjoy.
Will you go rewatch it if you can, or?
I'm going Tuesday to go see it again, so I'll spoil that right now.
In IMAX or still regular?
I'm not too sure. My girlfriend and I loved it so much, and her mom wanted to see it, so it's me, her mom, and her mom's best friend and her husband. Okay. So there's 5 of us going to see it. I'm not too sure if it's gonna be an IMAX. Once again, I don't really care. I literally just want to see the movie again.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Like, are you going again? Yes, on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yes. I was going to save it for later, but yes, I'm going to see it again on Tuesday. I cannot wait.
Right, Laurence, how did you see it?
I saw it in regular format as well. I was trying to get Dolby and IMAX, but I waited too long to try to get the tickets, and by the time that I tried to get them, it was like, okay, like I'm here every week. Like, where the hell were all of you people?
Right.
I should have a private parking spot in front of AMC. Right. They know me. Right. It's hilarious. But yeah,
I feel like this movie snob now. I saw it in 70mm IMAX, actually. I saw it at the BFI, and do you know what? I'm going to be honest. About a year and a half ago, I joined this WhatsApp movie group. And I could leave that group, not leave, but I could put up my phone down and come back 2 hours later, and I've missed 300 messages. It's not something. There's something like 200 people in that group. Whilst I would say it's the same 10 people that mostly do the talking, but anytime something big is happening, like the chat is live. So when all the IMAX tickets were announced a year ago, they were chatting. I was like on the fence. I was like, well, and then literally there was no point being on the fence. The tickets were gone. And then the next time, because I saw it at the BFI, which is the British Film Institute in London, it's near Waterloo train station. Anyway, I don't know. Have you guys seen the Bourne films?
Yeah.
Yes, the first one.
Do you remember? Oh, it's not in the first one. Lawrence, do you remember in the second or third one, there's a reporter running through a train station? It's quite at the beginning.
I was going to say you'll have to be a little more specific. Just
it's at the beginning. It's at the beginning, and Jason Bourne's trying to save his life. It's quite near the beginning, I think, of the second film. I can't remember if it's the second.
I'm blanking because I thought the second.
Okay, well that's Waterloo train station.
Okay.
To give you guys the anyway, so the BFI is a huge, absolutely huge monstrosity of a cinema. It's kind of almost like on a roundabout. You can't even walk across the road. You have to go underground and then come up. So I went with my daughter today to see it, and I booked the tickets probably a month ago, 2 months ago. Whenever they first announced it, they said the tickets were going to go on sale at like 10 a.m. or something. I went into this like long queue where the bar says I was like customer 9,900. I was like, there's no way I'm getting tickets. But I did. When I got through, I was like, I can't believe it. And when they literally had showings from like 10 past midnight, 4 in the morning. I was like, I'm not doing any of those. And so I didn't even click on them. I was like, I'm not doing those. And so I went straight to the one that was at like 4:30 in the afternoon or something. And I got it, and it was like row 2 or right the B row or something. And then I put in this little WhatsApp group that I've just got 2 tickets. And this other guy who I didn't even know goes, I put the seat numbers I had. And he's like, no way, I put the seat next to you. So he walks in, and like we don't know each other. We ended up chatting for like 15-20 minutes before the film. It was like, I think that's sometimes just part of the experience, which I loved as well. And then I don't know if you guys had it, but before the film started, we got a June 3 preview. Did you guys get a June 3 preview?
No. So, I did get a really cool movie, and I'll talk about that after, but no, I didn't get June 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they showed like maybe 3 or 4 minutes of the June preview, June Part 3 preview. So it's basically just a fight scene with a load of ships that land on the surface. And
I can't wait for that.
They're all like, it was like a solid scene, which was pretty cool. So.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's how we all saw it. Right, okay, Devaughn is pumped, so I kind of want to let Devaughn go. Like, Devaughn, what are your thoughts?
So I have seen the original Odyssey movie before. They showed it in school, so I've watched that. I'm a huge Odyssey fan. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this for spoilers. This movie's been out for a long time, all right? The story's been out for a long time. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I absolutely love this movie. I really did. I love the pacing of it. I love the way that they were telling the story, like how it was jumping through. The way Christopher Nolan does the sound design is so and I haven't really seen a lot of his movies. I've seen all the Batmans. I've seen Inception and Interstellar. The only ones I haven't seen are Tenet, Dunkirk. I'm trying to think what else. Memento. Oh. No. But just the sound design in this alone was like I couldn't stop like gushing over a lot of the movie. Like my girlfriend's sitting next to me, and I'm like getting excited and jumping, and she's like getting excited with me because she's like, I don't know why we're getting excited, and like I'm so fully engaged in the story that like I'm catching things before they happen and things like that. Like that, I took AP English, so like I try to figure out movies before they're finished. Like that's what I try to do. But obviously this one, I mean, you know what's going to happen, you know all that, but like it's just the way he's piecing everything together. Like the movie, I'm going to see it again. Like it's just so like the actors did such a great job. Huge shout out to Elliot Page, like absolutely crushed his role like in the movie. It's a short role. I think it's a very short role, but as Sinon crushed it. John Bernthal as Menelaus absolutely crushed it. I think everyone does such a good job. Like I forgot Ryan Hurst was in this movie, so when I saw him I was like, oh, Ryan Hurst. Travis Scott, I didn't realize until I got home afterwards, and I was like, because in the movie I'm like, he looks so familiar. I know who he is. It's the guy in the beginning stomping with the stick. He's like, saying the poem.
One man.
I'm like, he looks so familiar. And then I finally get home and I'm like, it was Travis Scott. I was like, oh my God, could not believe it. It was just such like this like the shots, just the storytelling, some of the effects. I've gushed over this movie. I loved it. I was so excited to see it again. I think the performances were great from Matt Damon, like I said, to Elliot Page, to even Zendaya, to Samantha Morton, who played Cersei. Like that whole scene, I was cringing during that scene. Like I could not. I was like, I almost didn't want to.
I had Walking Dead flashbacks, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I was like, I was watching it and I was like, I want to turn away, but I can't. To like Matt Damon being tied to the mast with the siren song going, like that's where the sound design came in. Like when they put the wax in and like as soon as
the thing muted,
the sound cut off, and I immediately jumped. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Like I absolutely love this movie. Love it. Obviously, if you know the story of the Odyssey, you know the story. It's just the way Christopher Nolan's telling it, the way that Matt Damon, like you can tell that Odysseus doesn't care for the gods too much, right? And I was trying to explain a lot of this to my girlfriend, like when they're in the cave with the giant, and you can hear him saying Poseidon's name, and I like looked at her, and she looked at me. She's like, "Why is he saying?" I was like, "It's Poseidon's son." Like, they're all like, if you watch or read Percy Jackson, you know, like I read Percy Jackson growing up, like there's a lot of demigods, and some of the gods are messy. They're messy people. They're not perfect, but they're gods still, and they're gods because people, you know, they worship them as gods. That's why they hit God status, but they're far from perfect. None of them are perfect. They're very messy people. And the hypocrisy of what's going on in the whole movie is just so great. I will say the one thing is in the Odyssey book, I believe it's Helios, it's not Apollo. And I think they say Apollo's cattle in this one. I'm pretty sure, but it's Helios's cattle. But like the way I forget his name, Eurycles, I think that's his name. Like his right hand man, you know, Himesh Patel, the guy with the beard. Yeah. When he's like, you know, forgive the gods, say you're sorry. And it's like, well, why don't you forgive the gods? You ate the cattle, you know what I'm saying? And like he's like, forgive Poseidon, but I don't think he realized in that moment, like it's not Poseidon punishing him, it's Zeus. Zeus is mad, like they're upset, like it. I just love it. I'm done talking now because like it's just I could go on forever. I absolutely loved it. It was a great movie. I think Christopher Nolan did his thing, and I could not be happier with it.
Before we move on, what do you think about the sort of modern use of language?
I will say my girlfriend was not happy that it was modern language, and I can kind of agree. It doesn't take me out of the movie because I feel like it's big budget movie. It's a lot of actors. Sure, they could do, you know, like, you know, they could speak, you know, the Greek language, like not even just the Greek language, but like speak back how those times were. You know, they definitely could have done it, but I don't know. I can't. I'm not gonna hold it against the movie. I'm just not going to. I just can't. For everything right that it did.
Do you think with what Laurence said about the 3 minutes, though, maybe Christopher? This is just me putting two and two together. Maybe Christopher Nolan's thinking, trying to get these people to speak in a dialect, or even just the wording, even if it just used the English language but made it sound like it was from those times. It's going to add another complexity to my.
You push this movie to coming out to 2028 if they do that. I can almost guarantee it goes a whole another year or two of filming. But you guys go, please. I'll jump in when I need to.
Laurence, what are your thoughts?
So I have to say I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. I was a little nervous about it because I'm not a reader. I remember vaguely seeing the Odyssey original movie in school. You know, I feel like I was rebellious then, where it was like, oh, school's trying to show me a movie. That means like it's going to be something that I'm going to learn something. I'm not watching this. Like I can't endorse it. But all that said, this movie, I loved it. I love the modernization of it. I know that's not going to be for everybody. I totally respect, you know, people's opinions if they wanted it to be more of an original or, you know, closer to the source material time period kind of movie. But as somebody who, you know, didn't read the Odyssey, this is like the movie for me, right? Like this is how you get me to care. This is how you get me to potentially seek out the Odyssey. I know it's a tome, so I don't know if I'm going to read it, but I'm more likely to watch it having watched this movie. And yeah, I love, I guess we'll start with the sound design. I agree. Like as soon as they muffled the sound when they were putting the wax in their ears because of the sirens, it just brought me back to A Quiet Place, right? Where it's like we're telling the perspective from the deaf girl, and all of a sudden the sound just drops out, and you're like, oh my God, like, you know, what an ingenious idea to do that choice or make that choice when you're filming that moment. Everyone in this movie is fantastic. I think that, you know, there is a little bit to be said about like the modernization and the stars that he chose, that like it doesn't take me out of the movie, but I feel like the one person that I really bought was Matt Damon's Odysseus. Like I couldn't believe that, right? Like I have no strong feelings for or against Matt Damon, but it was like man, he is doing some serious lifting in this movie. I'm just kind of beside myself with all the themes that were happening in this movie, because like I was wondering, is this man versus self, man versus God, man versus man? And it's all there, right? I'm waiting to see it again because my boyfriend didn't get to see it last night, but we're planning on seeing it in IMAX when he gets back like Sunday. So hopefully that'll happen. Otherwise, it'll just have to wait during the week. But the pacing I think might be my only criticism in terms of like it felt a little slow at times. It's sort of like when we get part 1 and part 2 of a movie. But I think that the only person who could have done this movie is Christopher Nolan, because he brings it all back. Like I know that we said that there's spoilers, for this story for 3,000 years because of the Odyssey, but I think the way that I won't spoil it, but the way that he brings the Trojan horse idea into this movie blew my mind, because it's like I've used that idiom many a times to be like, oh yeah, I don't like this person, like you got a Trojan horse this person, but like after hearing that I'm like, oh man, like we are terrible people. And especially seeing, sorry, I'm just like running a mile a minute in my head thinking about all this, just how the Trojans used that tactic and the context of what that meant back then. It's like, oh man, like that must have revolutionized war, just whether or not you trust your neighbors at that point. So I mean, like thumbs up. The one thing that I will say that I want to see Christopher Nolan do is a horror movie, because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but the Celia, so they could make a choice, right? You either
the
so
monster,
like you could
monster.
either choose the whirlpool or take the straight, and then there was like a monster where like 6 people would die.
Oh, the
Scylla,
sorry, sorry, I thought you were talking about Samantha Morton. Sorry.
That's also very horror-esque, right? Like I mean, there's so much imagery here that I was just sort of like, so could we get Christopher Nolan to do a horror movie? I know it wouldn't be above him, because like he's talked about how much he loves the Fast and the Furious movies, so it's just kind of like, come on, man.
Oh no, sorry. I was going to talk. So I saw somebody. It wasn't him. Sorry. Steven Spielberg referenced. I think it was. I can't remember if it was Steven Spielberg. No, I can't remember now. It's one of them, or Christopher Nolan. One of them referenced Obsession the other day. I can't remember. What it was. Okay. One of them. I would have to go and look it up now. But one of them referenced Obsession. Oh, okay. Sorry, Lawrence. Have you finished, or do you want me?
Yeah, no. That's everything I wanted to say about it.
I feel like. It's a lot to digest. It's a 3-hour movie, and I probably only got back from London like 2 hours ago. So, initial thoughts: I loved it. I enjoyed the experience. I'm not gonna lie, seeing it with that much detail, and I even thought like maybe it's how close I was to the screen, but just I could see like the freckles on their faces, and that level of detail in the camera work I just thought was amazing. I did not realize about the 3-minute thing, because you just start thinking about like the water scenes in the sea and the craziness of that. How difficult would that be if they had to like keep doing reshoots? And I also feel, I think one of you mentioned about the casting. I feel like this was like spot the famous person in some ways. Sometimes there was. I actually had this guy. It's right at the very end. Logan Marshall Green. He's sort of more of a TV famous actor. And I think the first time I ever saw him was like 20 years, no, maybe not 20 years ago, that's 16, 17 years ago, on one of these, those summer TV shows. I think it was called like Dark Blue or something. And I see him popping up every now and again. And right at the very end, he's the guy who's throwing all the weapons through the hole.
Oh, yeah.
And he's, they do this quote, he does this really well, how he gets these, I think most people that have any kind of screen time seem to have some degree of fame, even if it's like TV fame. Like the casting, whoever the casting director was, and they did an amazing job. Before I jump into my overall thoughts on this, Matt Damon, there's a few memes I've seen online about the amount of money that Hollywood has spent getting Matt Damon home. That made me
so good. Saving
so,
Private Ryan, The Martian, Interstellar, and then this. It's so good.
Hollywood has spent like $1 billion trying to bring Matt Damon home.
It's so awesome. I love it.
But yeah, look. The audio, you guys have covered it. Yeah, that part where they put them where it's the last guy on the ship, puts that wax in his ear, and suddenly it mutes the movie. I was like, well, I wouldn't say it doesn't mute it. It muffles the sound of the movie. And I was like, that's clever. Like, literally, it hit me. I was like, that was a clever choice, right? And then during that, how we don't get to hear the siren song. But then to flip this with the acting that Matt Damon puts himself through, just like the torture, the tears. Like, I can't say I love Matt Damon in everything that he's been in.
Yeah,
but there's the Martian and the Bourne films I definitely would love him in. But there are other films I've not been as impressed. This film, I'm impressed. That guy, like, he really, really carried this film. But there are other people in this that really stand out. But Matt Damon, he really, honestly, was so good in this film. Like, that one scene alone where you can't really hear anything, and I've no idea what he had to do, like, mentally, to go to that place, you know, in his face and everything. And he's completely tied up, so he's not even acting with his body, he's just acting with his face, you know. Yeah, and then afterwards he just talked through like what it was like to hear that song. And yeah, that whole moment really, like, kind of almost was just taken away from the film. I love the fact that we throw that in. I was thinking about this as well, like, there's the journey that Matt Damon and everybody go on throughout this movie. They do this pacing thing where they jump constantly from the present to Matt Damon's journey, and then eventually, like you guys said, pull it all together at the end. And I did keep thinking, how is he going to do this? Like, because you had this long build up of these like 200 men or something sitting there wanting to marry Penelope, and they keep talking about how they're going to get rid of them. What's it, you know? And then they keep jumping back in time and showing Matt Damon's character, you know. And yeah, it's pulled together like really well. I think how he does it as well, bringing it all together, Christopher Nolan obviously, but the acting of everybody is just so incredible. But what I like is that when we jump back in time, I love how he intersects these fantasy moments, which are actually, and you guys talked about it, so horrible in some ways. Of all of the scenes that hit me though was Cersei, Samantha Morton. Shit, boy, I would not want to come across her.
Nope.
Like when she, do you know what? I wasn't sure in the beginning, but the moment she said "leave your arm outside," I thought, these are fucked. Like, something's about to happen. And then when she starts, I don't want to ruin too much, but when she starts doing stuff with her hands, I was like, this is horrible. This is really horrible. So, but yeah, Christopher Nolan, I was impressed with his ability to jump into like horror aspects. I've seen most of his stuff is not ever been there. I don't think I've ever seen him do anything that's touched on horror before. So you must, like, I haven't looked it up, but you must be a fan of it. But yeah, look, I was impressed with the audio, the visuals, how he carried the story between a current narrative and a past narrative. I love his use of even giving some characters depth that actually had very small moments on screen. Like Charlize Theron's character didn't really have that much of a presence, but amazing. Even Zendaya's character as Athena, really, it was quite a small role. And I really loved the twist at the end to find out her backstory. Like that was, I was like, shit. I thought it was, I don't want to say much, but like I didn't think it was that. And when they saw that, and then actually that moment at the end drove Matt Damon further away, and it essentially created this like road trip of the film, kind of driven by that event, and that's what he gives away at the end. But yeah, look, I really loved it. I think this was something that was so visually amazing to watch, but it wasn't just like, I know people sort of throw the Avatar films under the bus a little bit, like you can watch them once, they're visually amazing, and then you move on. This film isn't just visually amazing. This is a film that people are going to keep coming back to. There's so much in here. There's so many people you can talk about. The guy, was it the guy John? I'm going to butcher his name. The blind guy who's like,
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I can't say his name. He's just amazing. Like, honestly, as an actor, it's just so good. Yeah, Mia Goth as well. I know it's a small role.
Hated her.
Well, I know. She plays people really well.
I love her, and it was funny that I did not realize it was her until like somewhere halfway through the movie. I'm just like, Mia Goth was in this, right? Oh my god!
Amazing. you know what though? I did not realize I would end up hating Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson. He did an amazing
villain.
Oh yeah, he did a really good job of being a cowardly villain.
Mm-hmm. But like a cowardly villain that makes you like, it's just the way that everyone listened to him, right? Yeah. Like they were all listening to him.
So manipulative and cowardly.
Yeah.
Right. Just kind of the oh my God. Yeah, I mean, manipulative is the right word, right? Like, I mean, I was trying to think of something else, but just like how calculating he was, right?
Yeah,
like he was just sort of like, you know, when he confronts Penelope about her shroud, and he was like, he's the only one who seemed to notice, or I mean, Mia Goth told him, but you know, it was just sort of like, oh yeah, like.
but this is the thing, comes back to the calculation and the manipulativeness of his character, that he's manipulating Mia Goth. He doesn't care about Mia Goth. He wants to marry Penelope. Mm-hmm. But Mia Goth's character's falling for it. But yeah, like I never thought I would see the day where Robert Pattinson, you know, I thought he was amazing in the drama that I saw earlier in the year, and I've seen him in, what was it, that film with Jennifer Lawrence last year, Die My Love, you know, and I've seen him kind of being a bit, you know, in that he was sort of a bit of an asshole husband. You know, in the drama, he was kind of a weakish husband or, you know, boyfriend. And then it's like a different guy altogether. Yeah. Look, I think what the collaborative effort between everybody to pull this off. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to throw this under the bus for the use of modern language. I think hearing, like now knowing about the technology, I think that would have been too difficult a task. And probably most people in the public wouldn't delve that deeply into that they had to cut this every 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, look, I'm full of excitement for this. I would love to see this again. Yep. And I don't remember watching any of those older films, I'm going to be honest. So I've heard some, I want to throw this out there, I've heard some little criticisms of Tom Holland's acting. I thought it was good. I don't have a problem.
They pushed back Spider-Man for him to do this.
I know.
It was
I just think it's funny that one of the interviews I saw today was that, like, I guess he thought the character was 13, but they were just like, oh no, like, you know, he was supposed to be like about like 20-ish at that point. Yeah. And he was just like, oh no, like my performance is completely wrong. And I was just like, I don't know. I think that there's something really sweet about how, like, I think that the second half of the movie works better than the first half for me. Yes. And like, there were so many moments with him and Matt Damon, or just him and Robert Pattinson and the Suitors, that I was just like, oh man, like I loved the movie The Impossible with him and Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watt. Yeah. It was like a family goes on vacation to Thailand and a tsunami takes the whole town out. But he was so amazing in that. And then like to see this movie, it was just like to see that version of Tom Holland again. I'm like, oh, there it is. Like he can act. Like, so I don't know.
I think his acting was fine. Like, I don't have a problem with it.
It's just the confidence of the character from the beginning of the movie to the end, like how much bolstered he is after basically what he goes through after like that, the last third of the movie, what he goes through, Tom Holland's character. I will say, because I thought about it when Mark, when you were talking about Cersei, I love explaining a lot of this stuff to my girlfriend, because like she didn't like watch the old Odyssey movie. Well, she watched part of it, but so Cersei, like when she says in the movie, like, your men, you know, like, you know, they're this because, you know, of what they would have done. And Matt Damon's like, well, did they do that? Like basically calling her out, because once again, gods are messy. Like they don't, she was acting on presumptions. She wasn't acting on what could have happened. There's a reason why he's the chosen, like basically general, right? Because like he is smart. I will say Benny Safdie in the movie as Agamemnon, like, I love the fact that he doesn't talk until he does talk. Right? It's so eerie and it's so he's just that presence, right? That scene where, again, lighting and everything, Matt Damon drops the lantern and you just see all of them, right?
Yeah.
And then they're opening the gate and the music's ramping up and you're like, obviously they're going to get the door, like they're going to open it, but you don't know because of the music and ramping up and everything. And then to get that scene where, you know, eventually, you know, you hear, you know, Agamemnon speak, and you're like, whoa, like this is crazy. And to get that backstory of everything, right? Just the way the story like chops up, and it reminded me of the way Guy Ritchie does like his movies, right? Like he'll show you that basically almost like the ending before the beginning.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he flips everything on his head, and I feel like Christopher Nolan does that a little bit here, where like he's telling the story from different people's perspectives, right? Like Matt Damon, Odysseus is telling you the story from what he can remember. Menelaus is telling you the story of everything from his point of view. Just every man, they just do such a good job. Like he crushed this movie, you know.
I mean, Christopher Nolan handles the jumping around aspect really well.
Very well.
If you watch Tenet and Memento, and you just said about showing you the ending before we get to the ending, that happens in both of those films. Like they kind of show you the ending much earlier on, but you don't know it's the ending, and then when you do get to the actual ending, you're like, oh shit. Right. Oh, you have that whole shit moment.
Right.
And with this, he does jump around a lot, and I do think the pacing for the first 20-30 minutes of this was incredibly slow. But then once we got past the first 20 minutes, I was like, I'm here, I'm invested. And what I loved, you know, you talk about the audio, that some of the real intense scenes, how the drums were just going, like they were just so good. It was perfect.
I also loved how, like, basically, I mean, we know that, you know, Zendaya's Athena, right? I mean, we know it, but I like that for such a small role, she's very present here, where the other gods that are mentioned, right, they don't play such a presence, but with nature, you know what I'm saying? Like with nature, it's so prevalent. Like water's rising, oh shit, like they pissed off Poseidon, like this is what's going on. Like, I mean, there's one great moment where, you know, towards the end of the movie, right, the thunder strikes, and the one guy's like, oh, Zeus is really upset about something right now. And it's like, yeah, he is. He's very upset about something, you know? Or like, where I don't really want to spoil it, but I mean, it's not really like a spoiler, but like when, you know, Matt Damon's told, give yourself to Poseidon, you know, Zeus isn't going to let you die. Like that's so powerful, because I feel like throughout this whole movie, Odysseus is doing this for him, for his men. He's not doing it for the gods. He doesn't care about the gods, right? For all intents and purposes, he helped win the war without them. That's like, I feel like that's his thought process, right? You know, he says it, like, I don't know if he says it in the trailers or like even towards the beginning. He just says like, you guys speak in riddles, or you guys don't come out saying what you mean to say. You want us to figure it out. Like, I don't want anything to do with it. And like, but I feel like towards the end, you know, like it just shows basically, Lawrence, with what you said without spoiling it, you know, like, you know, the gift, they gave the gift, Zeus's law. It, you know, it is what it is. That, you know, I mean, we know what happens, you know, and like it's so powerful. And to hear that, you know, after everything he goes through, you're like, damn, man, like it just hits so hard.
And I think that's the thing, right? It's like, for as much as people want to judge this movie for being so modern, whether it's the costumes or the actual dialect, I think the most impressive part about this movie is just how modern he makes the morals, or like the maybe not morals, but like kind of bringing that way of life, that way of thinking into a modern setting, right? Like, again, the Trojan horse is probably the biggest one, where, again, we won't spoil it here unless you guys want to, but I won't, where it's just sort of like, we know what that means when people say that, but like the way that he tells that in a modern context, and giving you the context that it meant back then with this law, it's like, like that just changed my whole perspective on that term. And you're just kind of like, yeah, that is the worst.
Yep.
And again, I think I'm just kind of blown away at how he was able to take. I know that the story's been workshopped for 3,000 years, but like being able to really build characters' backstories and make them mean something, even if they don't have much screen time. Like, again, the whole Zendaya thing, I still get chills when we're talking about it, with how he splices that cut of that moment with what's happening in the movie. And like just kind of watching Odysseus just, I don't know if I want to say that he gets torn down, but just kind of tearing down that facade of who he was and who he is now after this whole journey. That change is so palpable in this movie, and it's again, I can't recommend it enough to people, and I feel like this movie is probably going to be critic proof for the most part. But like I'm one of the people who I didn't care for Interstellar or Tenet, but I need to rewatch them. I plan on doing like a marathon of all three of the original Christopher Nolan movies, and then probably go see this one again. But it's just like, man, like he is killing it. Like all cylinders are firing in this movie.
It has made me want to rewatch Interstellar and Tenet. Tenet was a difficult watch. It came out during COVID. I didn't watch it at the cinema. The kids were at home, and I did watch it from start to finish, but I must have paused that film 50 times. The kids were younger, they were loud, it was COVID, it came out during the winter, so it wasn't like they would go, even during COVID, they could go in the garden, we watched it, it was hard work. I still finished it, still think it's good, but there's something I wanted to address, right? Okay, so there's a scene in this film, Tom Holland and John Bethel standing there with their bows and arrows, and which is cool, I love the whole thing, I think that was one of my favourite scenes in the film. But this is where I feel Christopher Nolan is clever. So in 2017, Tom Holland and John Bethel made a movie together called Pilgrimage. I've not seen it. But in the behind the scenes of that film, both of them supported each other with making their MCU audition tapes. It's something they both reference, like publicly. They've been interviewed various times, and they talk about how they filmed each other's tapes and helped each other to get the Punisher and the Spider-Man respective roles. And then seeing them now in that film together, standing there like almost like brothers, and knowing that we're like 2 weeks away from Brand New Day, where we get to see the Punisher and Spider-Man, roles that they helped and support each other to get. I just feel like this scene, Christopher Nolan must have used his mind to know the history of these people outside of this film. They didn't. You didn't even need that bow and arrow scene, in all honesty, but it was great. It did add in terms of, I think, strengthening Tom Holland's character, but there was more to it than that. There was the people behind those roles, and that was something I enjoyed seeing. That, like, that's something I personally enjoyed. And one of my other scenes I really enjoyed, and this really caught me off guard, and Devon's probably going to be like, I knew this was coming, but the when they land on the first island and they're following the sheep and they go into the cave and they just assume that maybe it's just some settlers of the island, and Matt Damon's overly confident and cocky and we'll greet them, and they're talking about Zeus's law, or we'll just greet them, etc. And then all of a sudden the Cyclops comes in, and I was like, oh shit. I didn't expect it to be as violent as it became, like, and kind of horrific. It was not a good scene for many of them.
I think there's just so many things that he, like, body horror is so huge in this too. Like when you talk about like movies with body horror, oh my gosh,
Together.
You got Together. You have
Substance.
The Substance.
Yeah.
Like, for him to do body horror in this, like, it makes so much sense, right? Like, you're living it, like, we're telling the story in the age of gods and stuff, and like, obviously body horror. So I mean, like, think about like Medusa and Cersei and even the Cyclops. I mean, that honestly, that was like seeing that scene and like how violent it was. I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of crazy. This is like, there's such a present danger there. And like, when they do the thing and you can hear him talking and you're like, and it's so funny because like, he's like, oh, he's speaking do you think we can reason with it? Like, and he's like, no, it's too late. It's too late for that now. Like, oh yeah, obviously. Like, it's just like they just act on like they already see it as a threat, so they're going to treat it as that, and like it just flip flops when they get, you know, basically to Cersei, and it's just like, wow, this is crazy. The one scene that my girlfriend, she did not like at all was she even like leaned over to me. It's just so it's a small little thing, and I don't think anyone would notice. I told her I would bring it up on here. I was like, no one's gonna notice. I don't think anyone's gonna care. But the dog, right, when he's choosing the dog, it's two different dogs. She's like, that's not the same dog. She's like, the first dog as a puppy is not the same dog as the second one. I was like, who cares? She's like, no, I have a problem. She's like, I have a problem with that. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right.
Different breeds, you mean?
It's different breeds of dog. And I'm like, dude, no one's going to care. She's like, no, it's a different breed. And I was like, okay, all right.
I thought it was how he was selecting the dog.
Oh, no, I like, when it happened, we both were like, oh, wow, okay. But she was like, that's a different breed of dog. I was like, Sarah, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna notice that.
Tell her 3 minutes, man. They only have 3 minutes to do it.
I will explain that to her. She's gonna be mind blown when I tell her that. She's gonna be absolutely mind blown. But yeah, I think
there's a question I have for you, Devaughn.
Oh yeah, of course.
The Oscars next year.
Oh,
Project Hail Mary, and this movie will definitely be the two movies up against each other.
Yeah, for like visuals and
everything, best picture.
You think so?
Name it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
June 3 is still coming out.
Yeah, we haven't seen June 3 yet. So that's not count. It might not fall into next year's because it comes out right at the tail end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It might though. Well, I guess we don't know.
But yeah, I mean, definitely.
Where you going? Which one's best picture?
Oh man, I gushed over Project Hail
Mary. I know. That's why I'm interested.
I really did. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like. Man, I might have to give it to the Odyssey. I might have to. I really might. You know, the other movie that I thought of that I didn't see that he did Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see. I haven't seen Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Yeah, I have not seen that one. And I was talking about it with my girlfriend. I kind of just don't want to see it. Like, I'm not overly interested in the movie. Yeah. Like, I'm just not like. I understand what the movie's about. I get it, but like for me, I just don't. I'm not into it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Yeah. But, and I was telling her last night because we were talking about because she loved Dunkirk, and she was talking about, she's like, oh, I love a good war movie. And I was like, you know, I'm the opposite. Give me the swords and shield. Like that's like right. Like that's prime. Like men fighting men. That's disgusting. I was like, yeah, but like it's true because once you lose the sword and the shield, like what do you have? Your fist. That's it. You don't have a gun. You don't have missiles. You don't have anything. You've got swords, spears, shields. Like you've got arrows. Like that's like the purest form, and like that's like the I don't know. It's just I absolutely loved it. It's just so good.
I don't think because obviously it's come out today. I don't think we're trying to spoil. Oh no. There is one more thing I do want to talk about. Sorry, hold on. The Trojan horse thing. When John Bethnal is talking to Tom Holland and says, "You heard the story of the Trojan horse, but have you heard it from the men inside?" And this is where I do love Christopher Nolan's use of time jumps, because we jump back. Because I'll be honest with you, when John Bethnal told that story, or his character told that story, whilst it was interesting, I felt like we needed more from it, and that's what I love at the end when Matt Damon's character finally gets home, and then he jumps back again to that Trojan horse war, and we get to see the rest of that war, because we kind of see them from John Bethnal's side looking clever, looking heroic, but then Matt Damon's character then adds more layers to that story. So don't get me wrong, it is a genius thing that they did.
Yep.
But then to see the other angle, and Matt Damon's character is really reflected on what they did. But to go back to what John Bethnal said, have you heard from the men inside? When they're all cramped in that horse for several days running, they talk about themselves, you know, win and shitting and
high tide,
and also the crampedness and the lack of food and and all the rest of it. And then, you know, when you see Matt Damon drop out of there, you know, you can see sort of he's got some cramp.
I was going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, so I found that whole scene really interesting. Like, I know it's not one scene, so you come back to it multiple times because Christopher Nolan does jump around. But I found the whole Trojan Horse War thing a really interesting part of the movie.
Do you guys feel that it would have been a different tone had they, because obviously he was there, but you don't see him, and Achilles, right? You know, is this completely separate? But I'm pretty sure he, like, if we take it from the movie Troy, right? I'm 95% sure he would have been in this, but they don't talk about him as much. And I don't know if I'm wrong about that.
My
lore with the Odyssey is terrible. So
I feel like
Achilles, I'm not going to know.
Yeah, I feel like like the movie Troy obviously is the same. It's basically the same story.
The Brad Pitt one.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, it's the same story, but
I did see that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, this is just going based off of what you said, like the different points of view, right? Had you had Achilles, like if you look at it from that point of view, it's all different points of view of the war, and like seeing it from three different people's like points of view is very interesting. Like with Menelaus and seeing it through Odysseus's eyes, right? Like you can see how like everyone's excited, right? We won. Yes, we did it. Odysseus is broken, man. It's not even like, I feel weird about saying, but I'm just going to say it anyways. Like when they're going through the streets and they're pillaging Troy and they're killing people, Odysseus doesn't harm a single villager. Just the troops. And like I noticed that and I was like, that's so powerful because everyone else is just going.
Right.
And like my thought process of that is like, man, like he didn't do that. Is he like he's just like, so, you know, is that the reason why he made it home? You know, like he only hurt the bad men, right? The bad men. He didn't harm anyone that was innocent whatsoever. Besides maybe his own men, but were they really innocent? You know, like it's just so, I think way too deep on these things, but like seeing that and seeing how broken and like you could see how distraught he was, you know, like it's so powerful, man. So powerful.
Yeah, I don't even think that like, you know, you're thinking too deep about those things, because it's like, you know, as somebody who's seen so many movies, right? It's just like we've seen these stories time and time again because there's only so many versions of these stories.
Right.
But again, the way that he packaged this movie and the way he told this story is the part that like is just unbelievable when you actually see it, right? Like when people were talking about this movie originally, I was kind of like, I know it's Christopher Nolan, I know it's an epic story, but it's like a period piece kind of story that I'm not going to be all that excited about.
Right.
And like as soon as they started with like, you know, a time with a little bit of magic, I was already like, I'm already into this movie. And then all of a sudden it was just like, go. And you were just like, all right, well, like, holy shit. Like,
I'm going to say it now. Matt Damon is getting Best Actor. 100. He carried this entire movie. You guys have said it before. I didn't say it yet. He carried everyone in this movie. And I would say Best Supporting Actor, I'm not even going to give it to Anne Hathaway. I'm not even going to give it to Tom Holland. I might give it to either Robert Pattinson or Himesh Patel. This is the first time I've ever seen him in a movie, because I didn't see Yesterday. I didn't see Tenet.
So Yesterday this year.
Yeah. And he crushed it. He crushed his role. Like he did such it was good.
Again though, another actor proving that he can do more than one thing, right? So Yesterday was a sort of comedy drama, light-hearted, you know, sweet film. And this is not the same role or film.
Right.
Like, you know, it's complete, and you wouldn't go, that's a comedy actor. Yeah, I saw Yesterday, I think January or something, and I remember texting my dad going, "Have you seen Yesterday?" He's like, "Actually, I have." I was like, "Oh, okay," because it's obviously a Beatles film. And I was like, "Yes, brilliant, absolutely brilliant." So, yeah, Hamish Patel, yeah, really good.
Yeah, so good. I mean, I love this movie so much that I went and downloaded Assassin's Creed Odyssey because I was like, okay, I need more of this. I was like, I need more.
This does make me want to go and watch other older films like Toy and
like it's just something about that, just like that. Like, you know, he did a good job. I mean, okay, I'm gonna say it's kind of corny, but they put Matt Damon and so they put Odysseus and Agamemnon skins in Fortnite. And best believe I bought Matt Damon. 100%. Yeah. I was like, yep, swipe the card. Just give it to me in Fortnite. I'm like, this is...
Yeah, I saw that they put a Fortnite thing of the Odyssey.
But, like, that's just... Like, that's... he's just a different director, man. Like, he's just so different in his... Like, I mean, my favorite director of all time is Guy Ritchie. Like, I love Guy Ritchie movies.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I think he does such a great job with his movies, but, like, Christopher Nolan is slowly climbing up there. Like, he might be either 2 or 3 for me. Like, he's right up there.
Hundreds, yeah. Okay, I think let's close it off. Sorry.
Yes.
Laurence, 5 out of 5. Where would you rate this?
I'm giving it a 4.5.
It's a good score. It's good score. It's like, you know.
But I think that's partially because of the idea of like the modernism of it, right? Like I love it. Like this would be a solid 5 out of 5 for me, but I feel like objectively I can see how people would be upset about, you know, it being modernized. But I don't think that should stop people from seeing it. But anyways,
Devon's giving it a 5.
I'm giving it a 5.
I'm giving it a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I got before we completely finish, a couple questions for you guys. The cast is like the dream cast, right? This is like the big names, you know. Even if the film, this is what I'm going to put out to you. This film, if it did not have this level of cast, but still was a Christopher Nolan film, you know, you haven't got your Robert Pattinson. Now, I don't know about Matt Damon because I think he carried it, but a lot of the other people probably could have been replaced. Zendaya didn't need to be, Athena didn't need to be Zendaya. Charlize Theron her role didn't need to be Charlize Theron. But it helps, right? Like, you've got a top billing cast, you know, kind of the core of the Hollywood top 20 or 30 in here. Do you think we could have swapped out some of these famous people for some less famous people? Obviously, I think Matt Damon needs to be in it regardless, but I don't think Zendaya needed to be in this film.
I was going to say, like, I think that Matt Damon is, like, the MVP of this movie.
Yeah.
But I think that, like, you know, they've been saying it a lot that, like, when you get into a Christopher Nolan movie, I think that a lot of actors really bring their A game. And I think that Christopher Nolan has a specific vision. I mean, like, when you look at this movie, so much of this, like we said, if you get 3 minutes to do each of these sequences, like, at a time, you need to know what you're doing, right? Like, you can't just kind of wing it. I mean, I guess you could, but chances are you're going to go through a lot more film than anybody else will. But, yeah, I think that he probably could have pulled this performance out of a lot of people. I don't think I would have bet on Robert Pattinson before the Batman, but you know, in this movie, it's like, man, he should have been in a lot more than just Twilight, right?
Oh yeah.
He's been in a lot of things. He used Robert Pattinson previously in Tenet as well.
Oh no! I'm saying before like, you know, like when he did Twilight, I feel like that's all people saw him as, right? And then it was like once he started doing stuff that was outside of that, like that's where we got to see that.
Have you guys seen Mickey 17?
I have not.
Honestly, Robert Pattinson fucking steals that film. Like, yeah. I have to shout out. I think, like you, I probably threw Robert Pattinson under a bus after Twilight, but he has worked hard, really hard. Like, you know,
I will say, I think everyone was fine in this movie. I really did enjoy Charlize Theron's character. Obviously, her acting as Calypso was wonderful. You know, I mean, in the Odyssey, I mean, Odysseus, I mean, he stays with Circe for a year because she fell in love with him. He stays with Calypso for however long because she fell in love with him. Like, I don't know what it is with Odysseus, but the man is lovable, right? So, like,
he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they're big names. Christopher Nolan likes having those big names. And obviously, I mean, you know, if they got the part, they got the part for a reason. You know, he probably could have gotten away with it with some other actors, but I think everyone, you know, I'm not saying that you said that, Mark, but like, you know, like I think everyone, you know, like Lauren said, they bring their A game when it's Christopher Nolan. They're like, oh, it's Christopher Nolan.
No, I think they all did really well.
Yeah,
I think that Zendaya's. I think, does she speak in it?
Yeah.
It's quite minimal.
Yeah, she talks.
Yeah. Anyway, look, we'll wrap it up. Look, we all love it. We're going to go see it again. Devon's going on Tuesday. I don't know. Lauren's probably going in the next 7 days. I'm probably going in the next 7 days. So my wife wants to watch it. She did say, look, you're probably not going to want to go tomorrow, so maybe we'll go one night in the week. I did say, look, if you really want to go tomorrow, we'll go tomorrow. I didn't see it with her tonight. I saw it with my oldest daughter. Right, next week, we are going back to 1987 to review a movie classic, which I've probably not seen since the 80s, but we are watching and reviewing Princess Bride.
I'll just give my score now.
Right, okay, so we're on all social medias. Please follow, say hello, etc. You can also get this podcast wherever you get your podcasts if you're watching outside of YouTube. So yeah, brilliant. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. We will see you all next week. Cheers, Devaughn and Laurence. Amazing.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to drop us off now.
Bye.